I thought, with Sue Bird coming in, at least this is someone that has been positive on Caitlyn at times. And I think the issue with Sue Bird, though, is she has her hand kind of in so many things. And between with her podcast, where she tries to advocate for the players, but she's also an owner in the league. And now she's got the Team USA thing, and she's got all these connections and relationships she has to maintain. But at the end of the day, if it comes down to someone that went to UConn and someone that did not go to UConn, the UConn Mafia is going to stick together until proven otherwise.
Team USA has just detonated what might be the most staggering, unnecessary meltdown in the recent history of women's basketball, and trust me, the shockwaves are only beginning to ripple outward. Picture this. Caitlyn Clark, the face of the sport, the engine driving its global attention, has allegedly warned officials that she will walk away without hesitation if they force her to surrender the number that defines her. And now Sue Bird, the architect of this entire operation, is reportedly sprinting through back channels, scrambling to contain a crisis that's spiraling far beyond her control. The brutal reality? The damage may already be past the point of no return. Every hour intensifies the chaos, raising the stakes to a level that could alter the future of the program itself. So here's my question, and drop your honest answer in the comments. Would you abandon the honor of representing your country over a jersey number, or is Caitlyn drawing an unnecessary line in the sand? I genuinely want both perspectives, because this situation is unlike anything we've seen. From the looks of it, Team USA is pushing to rip Caitlyn Clark away from the number that built her legend, and it's blowing up spectacularly in their faces. Let's cut straight to the truth. Team USA just executed one of the most jaw-dropping acts of self-destruction I've ever witnessed in professional sports. They targeted the athlete who almost single-handedly ignited an unprecedented surge of fandom, the one star whose name eclipses nearly everyone else combined, and then told her she couldn't wear the number that has become inseparable from her identity. And somehow, they were stunned when she essentially replied, "Then I'm gone." No other player at camp was using the number. It was untouched, unclaimed, sitting right there for the taking. There was no conflict, no veteran to honor, no logistical hurdle to clear. They chose to force her into a change. And that choice transforms this from a routine decision into something that feels calculated, like a quiet power move meant to remind Caitlyn who controls the throne. And unsurprisingly, fans are furious. The timing could not be more catastrophic. This firestorm erupted mere days before an essential training camp in North Carolina, scheduled for December 12th through 14th. What was supposed to be a celebration of rising stars like Paige Bueckers and Juju Watkins, an event showcasing the next era of American dominance, mutated into the chaotic backdrop for one of the strangest, most avoidable controversies the sport has seen in years. All because someone, somewhere, decided that the most recognizable figure in women's basketball needed to have her identity stripped from her. Let's be crystal clear, Caitlyn Clark's number 22 is the most iconic number in women's sports right now. There is no debate, no alternate angle, no counterargument that holds up. From casual observers to hardcore basketball lifers, everyone knows that number. It symbolizes her limitless shooting range, her impossible vision that leaves opponents stunned, and that unbreakable fire that defines her game. To millions, it's not just fabric, it's a symbol, tied to every record she shattered and a core pillar of her billion-dollar brand. And Team USA decided she should replace it with a number carrying no story, no history, and no connection to anything she's built. The only real meaning behind 17 is that it isn't 22. That's the entire statement. This was never about practicality. It was about authority. It was about sending a message. No matter how bright Caitlyn's star burns, the system still wants control. And Caitlyn's answer was simple: then do it without me. What makes this sting even more is the broader context. Everyone remembers what unfolded earlier this year when Caitlyn was shockingly, some would say recklessly, left off the Olympic roster earlier this year, despite being the most electrifying name in the sport and a proven magnet for massive viewership. That decision alone made people wonder whether Team USA's leadership had any grasp of the cultural moment unfolding right in front of them. But now, when you place that stunning omission next to this forced number change, it stops looking like a string of missteps and starts resembling a calculated pattern, one aimed at shrinking her influence and dimming her spotlight. Fans are connecting the dots, and they're not doing it quietly. First, she's excluded from the Olympics even though she brought historic attention to the game. Now she's being pressured to surrender the most visible part of her personal identity for absolutely no rational reason. It's not hard to understand why so many believe Team USA is deeply uneasy with how enormous Caitlyn Clark has become. She's bigger than the league itself, bigger than the entire national program. And powerful institutions rarely handle it gracefully when one singular athlete suddenly holds all the leverage. Now let's talk about Sue Bird and where she fits into this mess. She hand-selected this training camp roster. She's responsible for nurturing these player relationships and setting the tone for the future of the national team. Instead of focusing on strategy, development, and carving a path to international dominance, she's trapped trying to extinguish a public relations disaster the organization lit entirely by itself. Sources close to the program say Sue's emotional state has swung violently between exasperation and outright panic as she races to find a solution that doesn't push the situation even deeper into chaos. But here's the cold reality that Sue and Team USA are confronting. Caitlin holds every card. She doesn't need Team USA to validate her career or secure her legacy. She's already immortalized it. She shattered records at Iowa that will stand untouched for decades. She elevated the WNBA's profile in a way no player in its history has ever done. She brought sponsors, networks, and mainstream attention flooding into the sport. So what exactly does she gain by compromising her own brand identity to appease a program that's treating her like she's expendable? Team USA, on the other hand, loses everything if she walks away. They lose their superstar. They lose the cultural gravity she carries. They lose the millions of new fans who showed up because of her. They lose media attention, endorsements, and the entire storyline of women's basketball entering a golden era. Caitlin leaving would be a catastrophe, plain and simple. And Sue Bird knows it. That's why she's scrambling. The official training camp roster makes the situation painfully clear. It lists Caitlin with a new number. They're in black and white, confirming this wasn't speculation or rumor. They truly went through with the change. And when you scan the full roster, the truth is obvious. Nobody is wearing 22. It's untouched. They could have handed it to her easily, but they chose not to. They chose confrontation. They chose chaos. And now the consequences are burning through the organization. But this controversy exposes something much deeper in women's sports, something that stretches far beyond one player and one jersey. WNBA athletes have been shouting for years about being undervalued, underpaid, and underestimated even as they fuel enormous growth for the sport. When you treat the most influential player of her generation like she's disposable, you reinforce the very disrespect female athletes have been battling for decades. This ties directly into the tense CBA negotiations happening right now and the looming threat of a lockout because players are exhausted from accepting crumbs while carrying the entire product. That's why this number saga hits such a nerve. It's not about fabric. It's about what the fabric represents. Respect, recognition, the right to assert herself after everything she's done for the sport. When she says this is a line she won't cross, she's not being dramatic. She's refusing to shrink herself in a system that has tried to shrink women athletes forever. And a lot of people admire that. Some have mentioned that stars like Aya Wilson and Cameron Brink also wear 22, and that's true. But historically, players have always handled this respectfully among themselves without drama or hostility. But as the public face of Team USA's leadership, the responsibility lands squarely on Sue. She's the one who must convince Caitlin that the organization respects her while simultaneously defending a choice that screams otherwise. And here's the truth, Caitlin has no reason to compromise. She's proven everything. She has nothing to gain by joining a program that treats her like an inconvenience. If USA Basketball wants her back, they have to fix this. And fixing it means giving her the number, acknowledging publicly that the decision was wrong, and showing through action, not words, that they understand her value. This firestorm has also ignited broader conversations about athlete empowerment and the evolving landscape of modern sports. Today's stars, especially the ones with massive personal brands and social media influence, hold unprecedented power. They don't have to accept disrespect just because an organization used to dictate the rules. If Caitlin walks away, she sends a message to every athlete watching: you never have to settle for being undervalued, even by institutions that act untouchable. And now we stand at a crossroads. Sue Bird might manage to pull Caitlin back by reversing the number decision and offering guarantees that the disrespect ends here. Or Caitlin might hold her ground, skip the camp, and send shockwaves through the basketball world, forcing USA Basketball to confront a harsh reality. They need her far more than she will ever need them. Either way, the damage is already done. The organization now looks either incompetent or quietly vindictive, and neither reflects well on its leadership. Consider how legendary numbers work in sports. No one would have asked Wayne Gretzky to switch his. No one would have dared force Michael Jordan to abandon 23. Those numbers became sacred because of what those athletes achieved. Caitlin Clark has reached that same symbolic tier in women's basketball. Her 22 is her identity. Asking her to surrender, it is asking her to surrender herself, and she's made it clear she won't. So there it is. Team USA manufactured an entirely preventable crisis, and now Sue Bird is left trying to sweep up the wreckage. Caitlyn holds all the leverage, and she knows it. This story is far from finished. If you want ongoing updates as this drama unfolds, make sure to like and subscribe. What do you think Caitlyn should do next? Drop your thoughts below.